the question arises, what is truth?
It's
Now,
so amazing because I think most people, when they want to step into their spiritual journey, they feel that they have to leave everything and everyone behind and go in the mountains and hide from the rest of the world as if it's the only way to connect to yourself.
and when I was reading Krishna, he said, I will not allow you. You have to
Okay.
be here in the middle of the battlefield. And this battlefield can create your enlightenment too.
So, I mean, you beautifully explained, of course, the energy of each level, right? The frequency of each level. What do you think most people resonate at? What if everything you've been trying to manifest, money, love, relationship, or even health, is just one frequency shift away? Today I'm speaking with Rishi. He is the Enlightened Soul Activator, the founder of Solvo. He helps people raise their vibrations and expand their consciousness. Hi, Rishi. Welcome.
Thank you, Nelly, for creating this powerful space, because I'm saying powerful because, as you know, as you said, the frequency vibration. So we are already in this magnetic field where we are talk about the power of
Yes.
vibration, energy, and frequency.
Yes.
The whole existence is the expression of consciousness, and consciousness alone cannot express. It needs energy. So when consciousness is pulsating, it is expressing the whole reality, which we call the classical reality, which we can touch, see, feel. All the senses can interact, but before that, that energy field where the consciousness is interacting, and that is converted to this reality.
And I just wanted to add also that it is not some kind of voodoo magic to whoever is listening to this. There's actually science to this, right? So everything is energy, right? Everything is energy, right? Everything is made of atoms. And the paradox is that the electronic field that is just everything, pretty much, that we have everything around, exists at the same time as a infinite potential, the wave,
Mhm.
and the particle at the same time, right? So it's nothing and everything at the same time. So atom is what, 99.999% wave energy. It is purely nothing, right? And at the same time, it is also a 0.0001% particle. But that particle does not exist until it is observed, right?
Yes.
Yes, and once the particle is observed, the electron collapses and it forms into this reality.
Yes.
And I just find it so ironic that we focus on that 0.001%, you know, instead of the 99.999%, that everything is energy, right?
Yes.
So, and in order to actually experience what our soul wants to experience or manifest what we believe we need to manifest or bring the ideas into reality, the thoughts that we get into reality, we focus on actually trying to do something, right?
Mhm.
Instead of focusing on the energy. But yeah, it's a beautiful thing that this awareness is raising. I think it's first time in history, I guess, right? I mean, it's really
Absolutely. Like many people are now getting connected because the faculty science was recognized last 200 years is a very important topic, because it's giving us everything, you know. Today science has given whatever we are looking, the facility and luxury, everything is the expression of the science. So science is very convincing force in a human beings this time, last 200 years. But things were happening, the science of manifestation was happening long back. As you said, the classical state, the manifested state is a classical state. Manifesting is a quantum state. So when I'm in the process of manifesting, as you say, 99.99 is the quantum state. 0.0001 is the classical state. But if I'm working on my 0.001 state to change, it's tough because it
yes.
already took the form.
There's so much resistance. There's
Naturally,
no
because it is already
flow.
manifested.
Yeah.
So this mic has already manifested in this form. And if I want to change this, I can't do it. So what I have to do it, I have to melt it. Melting this classical state is going back to the quantum state. Now I have a whole probabilities are there, whole potentials are available. Now I can decide which shape I want to make it. So that is state of your awareness where you have a possibilities.
Okay.
I can go this. Still, it has not took the form. That state of possibilities is the state of in day-to-day life is the quantum state. Then you have to put your intention on that quantum state, and it will immediately select one possibility. That possibility will be your reality. But if I want to change my already existed reality, I'm fighting with a very limited possibility. There is one possibility. And from that one possibility, I'm expecting something different. It's not possible because this is already took the form. You are getting what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's like I'm going to the ice cream parlor. There's a lot of different varieties of ice creams out there. And I don't know which ice cream I will take today. I went there and I'm seeing and I'm getting this. So I'm in a probability state. So I have a difficulty. And naturally, I have a difficulty to select because I'm not in the state of already chosen state.
Okay.
But another guy came and he said, hello, give me the mango. In his mind, he's already in a manifested mango I'll take. He will come and select, and it is easy for him to get it. But I'm still searching. I'm still confused. I don't know. I like this blackcurrant or vanilla or this. I'm searching. So I'm in the state of quantum state, more close to the quantum state because I have not chosen the classical state, my reality. Then you say, okay, today I'll go for blackcurrant. So you have transited from quantum state to the classical state.
Okay.
Classical state is the reality you have already chosen.
Yeah, the material.
Yeah. But once somebody has chosen the classical state like mango and he went out, he had lost all other possibilities. But you have still the possibility to select one of them. So many times the quantum state is suffering state for us because we are not in a classical state. We have not finalized the form. We are in the state of, well, all the probabilities and possibilities are available to me. That is the time when you say, no, I will go what I love in my life out of all my possibilities, and you select one of them. That is your manifestation. So manifestation is easy in our life, and everything is manifestation. Even I believe realizing the God is a manifestation. It may took me 15 years, but it's a manifestation. That day where I realized it was my manifestation. But how it happens? It was happens for that kind of manifestation. I ready to lose anything and everything what was already in my mind. So when I say I am ready to lose all whatever I have selected in my past, I am ready to lose. So I thrown to the state of possibilities. And from there, I say even that's I want to go beyond. So it was a reverse manifestation, you can say. And then I realized the pure consciousness. So that was a reverse manifestation. Reverse manifestation need from whatever you know to the unknown, and from unknown to the unknown, which you cannot know, but only experience. So that happened. That's a manifestation. Now I can come reverse way.
Okay.
Reverse way, I have to come. I have to be very clear what I want in my life. That is very much aligned with my pattern. And then I'm meditating on that possibilities, not on the realities, what I want. I'm not putting my energy what I want. I am putting my energy on the quantum field where this probability is existing. And then when I put my energy on that possibilities, the reality will come the way what I was wishing. So it's an inside in work. So once you change your belief, you change the perception around that reality. Once the perception change around the reality and you put energy on that dimension, that become your reality. Like you, I don't know, we will record it or not, but I'm saying today we have manifested this, okay.
Yeah.
But it was 2 years back, the idea was put
The
on the
idea was born.
put it, born. But you may say it took 2 years. The moment the idea was there in the possibilities, today is become reality. So we have manifested, and it took the 2 years of journey, which may be essentially required. I was
Mhm.
not ready. Maybe the things was not visible to your awareness. So it came and now it is happening. So it's a
Yeah.
manifestation. But if you see in the backside, first the seed came 2 years back. So
So, in a way, do you think that thoughts don't belong to us, right? Sometimes people think that they're in control of their thoughts, right? That they could master the like what kind of thoughts come to their mind. But is that true or is it not
see,
true?
this when you classical state, millions
Mm,
of thoughts are there.
yes.
But when we know my thought, this is my thought, and I'm constantly on that thought, I can control my thought. There is two way. I have one way I have to fight others' thought and keeping my thoughts alive to
Mhm.
protect. I'm controlling my thought.
Yeah.
And when is that I don't care what other thoughts are there. I just focus on my thought and all other thoughts are very shadow kind of for me.
Mhm.
That is also way you can control it. So our neural networks are there, but since we are conditioned with the confusion, lack of confidence, doubt, pain, so many stories are there inside us. So these stories are running in our subconscious mind.
Yeah. It's
There's
a
no one story, millions of stories are
millions of
running.
stories.
So how you will control? Because one you think this, and the doubt will come.
I
There,
think the answer is to raise your frequency, right? So what we were
yes,
talking about, that
that's it.
everything is energy, right? And the only way you could be in that flow state is to raise your frequency. And once
Yes,
you raise your frequency, you'll get the right kind of thoughts, the right kind of actions will also appear. And speaking of energy, if everything is energy, saying again, can you measure the energy on a certain scale, maybe?
yeah. So let's move around these three words: energy, vibration, and frequency.
Yeah,
So
vibration.
first is the energy, where it is in a quantum state. Okay.
Mhm.
Then one particular thought you put on that energy, it will vibrate certain way. And that vibration will create a, when something is vibrating continuously, it's creating a frequency.
Okay.
Now in the energy field, if I am sad, so I'm constantly hitting on the energy field with the sadness. This sadness will vibrate continuously, and that will become the frequency which will go and interact with the world.
Yeah.
To measure this, the first breakthrough I think the Dr. David Hawkins has done, and he has created a map of consciousness. I found this is the closest and the nearest tool at this moment of time to measure the consciousness, energy, frequency in the human context, which human can sense. Not in a very technical like physics, quartz, hertz, not that way. In a human energy field, that is the best skill at this moment of time. So he has given a very beautiful scale from 20 to 700, and where the each kind of human emotions are have a number, like 20 death, 100 anxiety, 150 anger, 200 empowerment, 300 inspiring, 400 wisdom, 500 love, 700 enlightened, pure consciousness. So, yes, we can measure the vibration or energy or frequency, whatever in this planet exists. So, when I go to the Akashic records, everything is getting recorded automatically. So, when I get connected, I found the vibration and frequency of anything and everything, whatever in this planet, from idea to object, anything. So, yes, we can measure.
This is so fascinating. I got introduced to this only thanks to you, to Dr. Hawkins, the energy, the vibration. And so, I mean, you beautifully explained, of course, the energy of each level, right? The frequency of each level. What do you think most people resonate at
So,
as of now?
there is a universally, if you see,
Mm.
and it is dynamic, okay? It's a dynamic, it is not
Millionaire.
fixed. So, suppose I have checked overall frequency of the world 170, maybe 5 years back. Not
Mm.
necessarily it will be 170 now. So everything is dynamic. So if you ask me at this moment
Can we
of time,
check now?
yeah,
Yes.
at this moment, I'm not considering country wise.
Yeah.
I'm considering as a whole planet the
All
human.
consciousness.
So
Yeah.
human as a whole at this moment of time, if I see, I'm finding that whole human consciousness is is around 150,
which is anger.
which is aggression,
Aggression,
anger.
yeah.
So the whole cumulatively, the mankind in a very aggressive state,
There's
very
so many
aggression
wars
state.
going on right now. There's a lot of
Yeah, 200
heat.
wars are going on in this
Yeah.
planet, not one, two, or three.
So is that
It's small
collective
and big.
consciousness? Could it be the collective consciousness that is influencing it?
That we are manifesting
That we are manifesting.
because
it,
the
yes.
mankind is vibrating 150. So what will
Yeah.
hold,
Yeah.
that will be our reality. So that's the point to understand. Now I'm manifesting war or fighting or whatever. I want love. How can I create from this reality love? You said the very beautiful statement, rise your frequency. So mankind has to go beyond 150. And if you want to really experience the love, it should be 500. I know it's a tough journey, 500, 150 to 500. But even you change it 200, suddenly you'll find the whole humans are behaving differently. If it is 300, it's totally different. Unfortunately, even David Hawkins has said the mankind as a whole from last centuries not crossed 200 in reality. But there are certain places, there are certain people, there are certain objects which have a different frequencies. And people experience that.
So I've heard that there are very few people who, let's say, resonate at 500 or even 700. And their frequency is so powerful, it could impact people around them and raise their frequency as well.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. So this is then again there comes the fusion of the energy. Suppose somebody is at 500 and somebody around him 50. So suppose the 50 and 500, the fusion will be around 200. So suddenly the person who is in low vibration feel very empowered, positive, confident under the presence of 500.
That's what they call energy vampires.
Huh?
That's what they call energy vampires.
And just imagine somebody is 100 and other person is at 20. So what will be the energy fusion? Because the energy is talking, their energy is always entangled. Energy is not independent state. They are always in a communication in normal language, but in quantum language, you can say energies are always interacting in a entangled state. So when 20 and 100 will come, this will be like around 30 or 40. So they will blame on each other's and so the apathy for each other's. Suddenly, they both will create a very different field.
Yeah. And at that frequency, they'll only manifest more of this to
Yes.
happen to them. If
And
they're at
whatever vibration,
Yeah.
it is going to reflect in actual reality. They may start to heat each other's, you know.
Yeah. So if somebody is at the frequency of lack, let's say, right? I mean, there may be lack of money, lack of things in their life, right? And they want to manifest money. It could be very unlikely, right? If you're at the frequency of
Yeah. So in
lack.
conscious mind, suppose that guy is living in lack, but he came across with a good books like book on money on anything. So conscious mind is saying, I'm rich, or I'm
the
supposed
affirmations, yeah, that we
But the
do.
vibrations inside his subconscious, because it is 40 times more
Mm.
powerful than your conscious mind, and thus lack is his experience.
Yeah.
If the lack is his experience and goal is money, and he want to achieve that from his conscious mind, and he's doing the all positive things, I am rich, I have money, but what happened? Who will rule it? Subconscious mind. So he have to change the lack mindset, because that has pulled, and lack mindset means around 50. So in deep inside, he is feeling apathy. I have never experienced money. People cheated me, but I want to create money. Both voices are going on. And that's the problem. That's why they're not able to manifest.
Resistance creates more resistance.
More, because subconscious is powerful. So subconscious don't know what is right or wrong. If you put the negative thoughts on subconscious and positive thought in conscious, subconscious will be powerful. If you subconscious put positive thoughts and conscious negative thought, subconscious will be powerful, because the positioning is very important. Subconscious is always powerful than conscious. So you have to change your lack mindset. How will change? By changing the emotion around that belief, then deprogramming that emotion, that beliefs, and recreate a powerful vibrational statement or belief system which is holding high energy. Suppose 500 vibration language in a human language form, but it's a
Mm.
vibrations. So that vibration, when you implant in your subconscious, it will change your subconscious belief system, and then it will talk to your conscious, and then your reality will start to get changed. So you have to change the frequency. So rise the frequency.
But let's say someone is resonating at 100, which is
Mhm.
fear, right?
Okay.
Or even 125, which I think is
Desire.
desire. Most people
Yes.
are resonating at desire, want more,
Yes.
more, but there's actually lack and they're stuck in that loop, right?
Loop. Yes.
And they read a lot of books, they
Yes.
do affirmations, they're trying to stay positive, but
Mhm.
they're still stuck in there because the subconscious, of course, is
They are
more
changing their
powerful.
conscious
Yeah.
by
But the
reading the book.
subconscious is still there, right? It's more
Yes.
powerful. So, but what are the tools for them to actually raise their frequency if they are at
So
that?
there are many tools people are talking about this, but common point you can say whatever tools people are using, I have my own way. People have different ways. Like I work on the soul voice. I try to find out what your soul is saying with respect to that dimension. So that's the way I see. But fundamentally, everybody has to release the trapped emotion around that belief system.
Okay.
He has to go back. What was my voice of the people around me? What my father used to say around the money? What my society used to talk around the money? What my friend circle used to talk around the money? What I was used to talk around the money? So I have to deprogram those emotion around my voices. Once you started to deprogram or release, or you can say heal, or you can say just erased from your consciousness, you create a space for the high, because every being is born with a high frequency, because
Yes.
everybody having a soul is 700 plus,
Okay.
always. It has beyond like this, because it's an enlightened state. But our
Mm.
beliefs is the, you can say, the channel, how much I'm allowing the energy to come out in my conscious level. So these are the fundamental. You have to go to the subconscious mind, deprogram all limiting thoughts. How you'll deprogram, release the trapped emotion around those thoughts. Suddenly you feel expanded. Suddenly you feel very powerful. And that is the time, whatever your inner voice is saying, that the way you can change. This is, I'm saying, in the linear way. Technically, there is a healing,
Yeah.
releasing, deprogramming,
Inner child
inner
work.
child work. So many works are there,
Okay.
because we are layer, we are density of emotion, and we have a density of energy. Both is there. Density of emotion means which is already translated in a working in my dimensions.
What
Energy means what the field available to you to recreate the new.
and what do you think about meditation as a tool?
Yeah, meditation you can say is a tool. In a technically, it's a neutralization process. That's why meditation is so powerful, because it started to neutralize the intensity you are holding inside you. It's a very powerful neutralizer. So once you have a limiting thoughts, when you meditate, slow but powerful way, it started to neutralize. Lot of noises around you started to disappear. Lot of emotion started to become weaker and weaker. You will cry, you'll release. So meditation also, you can say two kind. One is healing meditation, and one you can say expanding meditations. So first you need a healing meditation. You can say catharsis.
Yeah, but
So
everything has to come up. It will
first you
come
have to
up.
release. You have
Yeah,
to first
so that
throw.
you release it.
Once you throw, then you create a space. So one meditation is a catharsis where you are neutralizing, and one meditation where you are expanding. So meditation is a very powerful uh, technique to neutralize the limiting emotion and thoughts, and creating a space where you started to get the voice,
Yes.
your inner voice, because it's create a space. And that is the time people say my inner voice is saying this, my inner voice is saying that. That's the space. So meditation is a very powerful dimension,
Beautiful.
but that is not only the one technique, but it is one
Mm.
of the powerful technique.
Yeah.
But there is a healing, there is a lot of other things are there.
And speaking of working on yourself and raising your frequency, tell me, how do you work with your clients? How do you help them
Yeah,
in
that's
that
a very good
process?
questions. So what I do first I any problem they come, First, I check their vibration with respect to that context.
Yes.
So let's say money.
Yeah.
So I'll check their money consciousness. I'll see what money consciousness, what it was at the time of birth and what it is right now. Suppose somebody has born at 200 money consciousness, but the family background, the social, now he may be at 70 or suppose 100.
Mm.
So now he's suffering from, he is dealing or he is attracting the world of money out of fear. If it is 100, so I have to neutralize. Then what I do, I go to their journey, timelines. At what stage, at what age of your life, what critical incident happened in your life around the money. Then I ask,
You have
maybe at the age of somebody, suppose at the age of 40. He came to me at the age of 40. And I'm finding at the age of 21, you have this kind of incident showing these are the critical emotion, maybe anxiety or fear or loss or blame. Then I ask, any story happened? They will say. So once they say, they go back to that story. Then I heal. Then I say, close your eyes, and then I heal that
you release
emotions.
that emotion, release
Emotions,
that from
yeah.
the record of their
Records, I
soul.
clear. From
Okay.
basically, I clear from their subconscious mind
Conscious.
what they are holding. Then I ask question. I give them visualization, some scenarios, and due to their emotional charging state, they started to see that part only. And then again, from that visualization, whatever value they said to me, suppose I say visualize sea beach, then they will visualize the sea, the expansion, the blue color, the wave sound. And then these values, what is money? Then they will speak something. Again, I will go and check to their soul. Is it aligned to their soul vibration or not? If it is not aligned with their soul vibration, I will say maybe it is 110. Then again, I will release that trap emotion. Like this, I release their trap emotion, give them new visualizations, find again the voices around it. The moment they reach to the 200, I say, now this is the voice 200. This is the powerful. And they immediately realize and feel in their being, yes, I'm feeling more power in my muscles when I'm saying this mantra. Then I say, okay, I'll take you further. Now I release the trapped emotions. They come back to 200, their birth vibrations. Now suppose they say, I want to go 500. That is, I call the energy journey. Now the density of energy is there. Again, I will ask the same question and release the density of the energy. So people have a fear. I don't want to become more rich. I don't want to attract other kind
Who
of
says that? I'm
casualties.
sorry.
People say. Rich
Okay.
people say, those who are millionaire, they don't say, but rich people say, I don't want to be so rich that I started to visible to the world and I started to attract the casualties
Fear
because they
of being
believe
seen. It's
if
not
I'll be
safe
seen,
to be
I'll
seen.
not be safe. So those energies, beliefs are also there. So that layer I also has to clear. So, so my core is that's why my whole world is move around Solvo. Solvo is nothing but a soul voice. So Solvo is the short form of the soul voice. And that soul voice actually impressed on your subconscious mind. And that started to change your perception. And once it is changed your perception, you project your reality in a different way. And that projection started to change your reality.
Fascinating. It's amazing. I mean, for me, because I have worked with you, I think it's been 4 or 5 years since we
Yes.
know each other.
Yeah.
And the person that I have been when I've met you and the person that I am now, it feels like completely two different people.
That's
So
amazing
we
to
have
know.
worked a lot. We have worked very deeply. And I'll also share like a personal story. I feel what I was before I've met you and what happened after. So the thing is that when I was growing up, when I was a kid, I was bullied in school for my looks, mostly for my looks. I was called all kinds of names, which basically mean that I'm ugly, that I'm not good looking. And I felt very unsafe to be seen because being seen means danger, in a way. It felt like that for me. So like even being photographed was such a big deal for me. Like I was really afraid of the camera, I would say. And such a simple thing like a photo at the end of the year in school would put me in such stress that I would pretend that I'm sick just not to go to school on that day.
Right.
It was that embarrassing, I swear. And I was just a kid. I mean, for a kid to, and it's not very unique. I know a lot of people experience similar things like that, you know. So it was so deeply ingrained in me that I am ugly. There must be something wrong with me, you
Mm-hmm.
know. That I need to fix myself in certain way to be loved,
Mm-hmm.
right? That I'm not enough, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
as I am, right? I mean, my own mother used to find kinds of faults in me, and yeah, that honestly really impacted me at that time. And um, I just accepted that as my reality,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I was like, okay, I'm not beautiful, but I'm smart.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to study really hard, and I'm going to make something out of myself
Mm-hmm.
in order to compensate for what I'm not. You know, so that was my mindset at that time. And yeah, I mean, there were so many blocks, honestly, in my mind. Um, yeah, but that's in the past, right? That was before I've met you.
That
And
exactly you said all the stories,
yeah,
Seen is dangerous,
seeing is
difficult to win the
dangerous.
camera, but
Yes.
so many noises around you. You said already,
Yeah.
mothers, bullies.
Yeah.
So this is the bundle of emotion, density of energy you are holding.
Experiences
Yes,
also.
experience. So
Experiences, right?
that need to be nullified to
Yes.
change the perception around the beauty, around the scene, how I should be seen. These all stories will be limiting stories.
Yeah.
Once you nullify this, you are already see the world very differently. Your perception will change.
Yeah. So getting back to that, because I just wanted to prove the point that what you think of yourself becomes your reality,
Mhm.
right? So I believe that I am ugly, and I was told that I am ugly. In saying it in very simple words, obviously nobody would say it directly like that, but I believe that, and shaped a certain reality where I'm not visible, where my voice is not heard, where I have to sort of hide myself in the way that I am, or constantly fix myself so that I'm accepted, right? And I know a lot of women go through this or went through it at least once in their lifetime, right? It's a very
Mhm.
common thing. There is so much shame and guilt around the appearances, you know. I
Mhm.
remember even being like, I must have been like 15, 16 years old. I was just Googling, you know, plastic surgeries, what I could
Mhm.
do to myself in order to look better, you know.
Mhm.
Like a 15, 16-year-old kid.
Yes.
And by the way, I haven't done anything to myself. This is just like how I am, right? The only thing that changed mindset, the perception, the energy, and that changed like everything to me. You know, so from being so afraid of the camera, let's say, like being so afraid of being seen,
Mhm.
I and then we've changed, you know, my mindset, my perception of myself, and then suddenly I'm modeling. Suddenly, brands are reaching out to me, you know, to shoot for them. You know, suddenly I'm in this podcast, you know, I'm talking to the camera, and I feel absolutely different. And you know, if somebody would have told me 20 years ago, let's say I'm in the that inner child of mine, right? I would never ever believe that I would be photographed, or I would be so comfortable in front of the camera that I could confidently say that I am beautiful and there is nothing wrong with me and there is nothing to fix,
Mhm.
you know. And basically this actually changed my whole perspective. Before, I thought you have to first change something physically within yourself, right, to change your appearance, and then you will be accepted, then you'll be successful. But apparently changing how I feel on the inside about myself changed the appearance. So people who used to find me, let's say, ugly or not good looking, suddenly are finding me very beautiful, right? And the only thing that changed is how I see myself, how I view myself,
Absolutely.
and how I feel about myself, right? So it was a beautiful example where I could see the actual physical change, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah. So,
So by changing the inner world, you change so many things in the outer world.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh, it's very beautiful, very beautiful. It felt like, you know, having many lives within one life. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's like I am still the same person, but
Mhm.
it is so different in a way. It is
Yes.
just so different in a good way.
Absolutely. We are multifaceted. We have all the dimension to. We have so many dimensions. If I have to give a number, there are 12 dimensions of life, and you have to work all the 12 dimensions to undo all the limiting thoughts, and then you suddenly feel, wow, my life is so powerful. Making decisions, having fun, creating prosperity, being courageous, thinking clearly, being harmonized, new quest, like let go the world, flowing in the world. Many dimensions are there.
Wow.
That's amazing. That's why I
Yes.
think I'm living many life in one life, then only
Yeah.
when we are
It
courageous
actually
enough
felt
to
like
open
that.
up all
Yeah.
the chapters.
Having the courage to, I mean, burn everything to the ground might sound aggressive, but that's actually how it feels like when you leave everything behind. And then one day you wake up and you're a whole different person. And it gives you
Yes.
so much freedom that you don't need to really attach yourself to your past experiences. Yeah,
Yes.
this is what
The moment you undo,
yeah.
where you will attach? Nothing is there left to attach.
Yeah. I feel this is the fastest way to heal trauma. Instead of digging really deep, what happened, what's wrong with me, why am I like this, why am I like that?
Yes.
The moment you just detach and let go, like if you have the ability to do that, which I found within myself now, that at any moment in my life, I can completely detach with what I am and my experiences, and be something else, be someone else.
Absolutely. That's why you can say in the one line, like, in place of I'm trying to analyze my reality, attain the higher frequency. Just go to the higher frequency. Once you try to attain the higher frequency, you don't need to attach with your limiting world.
That's
So
actually
that is the
that's the
best.
difference. Yes,
Yeah.
when you are at a different frequency, you do feel
Yeah.
like a whole different person.
Yes. So there are many ways like people solve. People run away from the situation.
Yeah.
That also they solve the problem. Or they try to analyze the problem and solving the problem. And some people just create a new frame, new
Yeah.
thinking frame, and change the problems. I think they just change the frame and then see the problem. It is resolved.
Amazing.
But if I'm trying to solve the problem within the frame, that frame has created the problem. How I'll solve it? So two way. Once I run away from that frame, I can solve it, or I expand that. And I think the expansion is the best. Expand the frequency, expand the visualization, expand your emotions. Problem is resolved. If you are sad, expand it. Because love turned to a sadness. When you compress the love, it's a sadness. When you expand the sadness, it's a love.
The
It's the same.
duality that doesn't
Yes.
exist.
Same frequency, same
Same.
energy, but
Yeah.
different frequency.
I'm no words, Rishi.
Thank
for
you.
what for
No,
the work
it's
that you do, it is amazing. I feel that I'm so privileged and lucky to be in your presence and to have worked with you like this. And yeah, but another thing that I want to talk to you is your millionaire mindset program that you have, the millionaire mantra, I think it's called, right? The
Millennium
millionaire
mindset.
mantra. Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Which is so unlike, I feel, any other people who work with um, soul. It's very unlike the soul awakening activation work, because many people reject the idea of money and being rich being something like gave you an example that people think if you're enlightened you just live in the mountains and you're completely free of the material world, which is
Yes.
not true. So please tell me more about your program.
Yeah. So, that I was seeking for the enlightenment. That's my core journey. So, whatever environment I needed for this, unconsciously I was creating. But I came to realize the very fundamental frequency of a fundamental understanding. The four pillar is there. One is called dharma. Dharma means, for me, be yourself. Artha vriddhi. Artha vriddhi means growth your prosperity. Be yourself, growth your prosperity. Then comes the kama purti. Kama purti means fulfill your core desire. And then the fourth is the moksha sthiti. Go to the state of
It's moksha.
enlightenment. And this all four is the part of your soul. Soul is in the center, and each soul want to achieve these four dimensions. So this millennium mindset came from this idea, Artha Vriddhi, means you have to grow your money, your prosperity to become financially free.
Okay.
Like moksha is you have to be you have to be free from the ideas.
Okay.
Dharma means you have to free from the ideas of somebody, you became somebody once else. So now you're going back to your true self is the dharma. And kama purti means fulfill those desire which is not coming to you due to the influence, which actually your soul want to experience. I want to fulfill my life
Okay.
with this car, or not because the people on the other side have. It is my core desire. So karma. So everywhere there is a truthfulness. So same way I realized this millennium mindset, since we are programmed from the childhood, so many limiting thoughts around the money, wealth, success, prosperity, and that is the big barrier. So in my journey, when I started to undo my that side also after my enlightenment experience and leaving my company, I started to actually face the real world. Okay. Now where I have to talk my work, I have to ask the people for money, and that those are the time when I realize I can't ask because the monk is sitting inside me. That monk who has traveled the enlightenment, now he has a difficulty to be part of this world. He cannot work. He cannot ask for money for his work. Even people say, once I complete my work, I will not ask. This is my price or this. I will just silent. If they will give, okay. If they will not give, then also okay. But inside me, the struggle was there.
Yeah.
And why? Then I go to this topic, money, wealth. And then I'll find thousand beliefs are there inside me. I started to undo the monk inside me with
Okay.
respect to money. Like there is a book, I think the monk sold his Ferrari.
Yeah, the monk who sold you.
I started to struggle how to buy back my Ferrari.
By now you should be buying your Ferrari, Rishi.
So
Come
that
on.
is the point this journey started, Prabhu. So
Yeah.
first I cleared my money consciousness.
Okay.
That money consciousness, it was make me so powerful. I started to speak to the people, I able to price it, and without asking, money started to flow to me. That was a one milestone I success.
Yeah.
After that, it is still not a millionaire mindset. It I opened my money consciousness.
Mm.
Then when I meditated, started the millionaire people, so and I started to read their biographies. And I worked in companies like, so I have seen how people, the CEO of the companies, how their beliefs influence the success of their company. When I started to read their Akashic records, and I found those who are successful, their mindset with respect to wealth creations, not just the money.
Okay.
It was totally different than those CEOs who lost the wealth, their beliefs. It's totally different. Then I read Western people's success stories. I'm not going to say the name, but I was reading those different people's Akashic records. And I realized that their mindset is totally different. Then I started to change my mindset around the millionaire thinkings, which is big breakthrough me because this much amount I want my life or this kind of lifestyle I want. And I started to break those limiting beliefs. And then I realized something changing in my external reality also. I'm attracting different kind of people. I'm attracting different kind of situation in my life. I got exposed to the more luxurious life. I changed my dressing styles at the time. Everything changed because everything I was changing inside. And that's the millennium mindset. Again, the five energy bodies beliefs I changed. Where we are able to create first the consciousness with respect to millionairehood or billionairehood, which is more than money, more than normal uh, assets we have. Like we are ready for the abundance, immense amount of wealth.
Is it also about frequency? So a certain mindset is it
Yes.
of a certain
So I
frequency?
realize those who are not millionaire in the millionaire context, those who are 70, 80, they have a good money. In money consciousness, they may be 300. But in the
Okay.
millionaire consciousness, they are
Millionaire
70.
Okay.
So when they think about the millionaire, it's very difficult for them. So they come down to 70. But if you see their lifestyle, they have good life. They have good money, but not in a context of millionaire.
Okay.
So they feel looks poor in that context. And then I again found they are 70, 80, 90.
Okay.
So I realized from journey 125 to 200, millionaire peoples are coming on that context. So once I started to change the frequency from the millionaire point of view, the reality in people life changed. People started to get back their blocked money, maybe 17 years, 18 years money they started to get back.
Wow.
Their courage to invest was increased. They're able to invest. Their perception changed. Now they are more focused how to be financially free. So their invest of money pattern also changed when they change their millennium mindset because they become a creator now. They are thinking they are the creator.
And what are the most common money blocks when it comes to millionaire mindset? Because you help people to release these blocks, right? So that they could raise their frequency on the millionaire mindset scale.
Millennial mindset scale, the first, they have a lot of blame
Okay.
against the rich people.
Ah.
Lot of blames are there.
So you can't be rich if you're blaming the
So the
system.
blame
There's
all
a
the
lot of
luxurious
resistance.
people, they
Yeah.
have a blame.
Okay.
So this is the most critical emotion, blame.
Mhm.
And then second, they believe that whoever are so much money, they must be corrupt.
Mm.
They're not doing the money out of good way.
Okay.
So these things are very limiting thoughts.
Mm.
Then, so I found like they have a apathy
Mhm.
for the rich peoples.
Okay.
They don't feel very respected inside for
Mm.
the rich people. Either they are disconnected or they are angry or blame. These are the things more critical.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. What I mean, since we're talking about millionaires and their
Mhm.
consciousness, what is, let's say, Mukesh Ambani's millionaire consciousness? What does it resonate at?
So in the past, whenever I checked, I found it is his millennial consciousness is, again, it's a very dynamic,
Yeah, it's a
So
dynamic.
like,
Maybe we check now.
since you have asked me if I connect in that way,
Mm.
this is coming like 170, the pride. So which is very
It's
good
it's
in a
it's
millionaire
a yeah, in
consciousness,
the millionaire
because the millionaire
consciousness. Wow.
journey started from 125 to
Yeah.
70.
Wow. And what is Elon Musk's
Elon Musk, I have found
consciousness?
is like a 200. He's
Okay. At,
I found in the world most of the millionaires are vibrating at 200 in millennial context,
okay.
and he is touching there.
200.
Yeah, so it's
Wow.
very empowering, courageous. He's very confident.
Yeah.
So even he will bankrupt, suppose due to any situation,
Mm.
he will bounce back.
Yes.
His millennial consciousness will recreate that reality.
Wow. This is another thing that I've realized that let's say you resonate at a very high frequency.
Mhm.
Like high frequency, I mean, maybe you're at 500 overall.
Mhm.
It doesn't mean that stressful or bad stuff don't happen to you at all. It just means that you bounce so quick, it doesn't even touch you. There is no
Absolutely.
duality. You don't fight the bad, the good and bad. It's just that you're in that constant flow state.
Yes.
And you are just there's no resistance. I feel the resistance creates this kind of blocks. Right, so that's
Blocks.
when you are resonating at a lower frequency. But when you're at a higher frequency, let's say some obstacles are on your way, or
Mhm.
something happens that maybe you didn't expect that would happen,
Right.
and because you're at a higher frequency, you're
Mhm.
able to flow through things. You're able to actually perform better. You're able to just, move faster through these things.
Absolutely. You deal
Like,
the
you
situation
deal, with
in
these
a very
differently.
different way. So that frequency where you are, that started to influence your suffering reality. Suppose something is bad, so they influence and they neutralizes that. So that's the always that law of higher energy will influence the lower energy.
That's another
So
thing
you
that
deal
I've
very easily.
Yes, the thing that I've noticed with rich people is that the speed of taking decisions is so much faster,
Yes,
like
because
they
they're
don't really dwell on should I do this, should I not do this. They just do.
that's
So
why they're
they're in
coming,
that
because
flow
they are
stage of,
thinking, they
yeah.
are operating from the center of creator.
Okay.
And suppose somebody is millionaire 200, so he must be courageous, confident, and at the same time he never think about the what will happen to me. He says, I'm the creator, I'm going to create. They enjoy the creation. They are ready to lose or rise, doesn't matter for them. They actually enjoy the creation. They love the creation. So they are a very powerful decision maker. That's why I say my millionaire mindset program, the philosophy is chaos free. Those they are generally chaos free. Even the situation is full of chaos. Inside they are chaos free. Decision driven. They're very much eager to make decisions. They're very powerful to make decisions. Chaos free, decision driven, action oriented. Not just the decision, they will be involved. So, chaos free, decision driven, action oriented, success centered. They believe
Wow.
what they are doing, they are going to success. They are
Yes.
not in doubt. So chaos-free, decision-driven, action-oriented, success-centered, investing mindset is millionaire mindset.
Wow.
That's the definition of my millionaire mindset. So you are chaos-free, quality you'll develop. You will be decision-driven, action-oriented, success-centered investment to be financially free. That's
Sounds
the
like a
journey of
dream.
millionaire
Yes.
mindset.
So
That's the quality of the
that's the
millionaire
quality.
mindset.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's not just about having money. It's not the end
Yes.
goal,
No.
obviously.
This is the goal.
Yeah.
They want to be financially free. Like somebody asked me, are you financially free? I say, absolutely, I'm financially free in my frame of lifestyle, being in Orville, my lifestyle, whatever I'm living, I'm financially free at this
Yes.
moment. But if you pick me and put me on California, I may not be. Because different frame, different demand, different financial requirement is there. But I will, if I go there, I'll create my financial freedom there
Exactly.
because I'm holding that
Yeah.
mindset.
Even right now, I think most of your clients are from Dubai, right? You
Yes.
work with people in Dubai a lot, and maybe do you have any maybe stories from your clients who have really achieved something so big that you would love to share it with us?
So there are different level of clients are there, but like one clients after millionaire mindset programs, their money was just stuck from 18 years, big money. It was got released.
Wow.
So they found like
So
huge amount,
effortless.
so effortlessly
So it
money
just
came
happened
back
to
to them.
Okay.
Yeah. And the client is from different country, not from Dubai, but she's in Dubai, but she able to invest a lot of real estate after the millionaire mindset program, which she used to hesitate. Uh, one client came from New York City. After Millionaire Mindset, suddenly his number of clients increased.
Okay.
So she is busy from last 6 months like that.
Yes.
Um, these are around the money works. And what I'll tell about others, I don't remember right now. But these are the stories coming up in my life and at this moment in my mind.
Okay.
But my life has changed after the Millionaire Mindset program on myself. So
It's fascinating. Even my husband, he has worked with you, not on
yes, yes.
millionaire mindset, but
Yeah,
overall on money,
money
consciousness.
consciousness.
Yes, yes.
Money, and he has worked on his individual consciousness.
Yes,
His as a
individual
soul
consciousness. Yes, yes. I
from
mean,
inside as individual soul,
yeah,
and then the reflection of that soul in the money world.
yeah, yeah. And his experience was also amazing, you know, and I just have to share this because he was minus 100 crore down, you know, and how he came up, you know, out of that, all thanks to you. You know, maybe he would share this story whenever he can, but I know these things happen not just because of the physical action, they happen because you change the mindset, you change the frequency, you know.
Everything I think
So
organically connected.
yes,
He changed himself from the inside. Then he started to reflect that in his outside.
yeah.
Many situation he deal with the frequency context, with the aligned with his frequency, and things started to reflect in his life differently. This is the way things works.
Yes. And I know, I mean, you don't usually advertise for yourself. You don't need to. I mean,
I think this is the first time.
this is the first time he's actually
in
sitting
the
in the
camera,
open
yes.
like this. Yes. And you don't need to obviously advertise for yourself. But would you be open if we write your details maybe down in the video description that people could contact you? Maybe would you be open to that?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying this is another effect of millionaire mindset.
Okay.
If you have asked the monk, he will be silent. But you are asking the person who has done millionaire mindset on him also.
Okay,
So I'm saying,
fascinating.
okay.
So, if anybody wants to raise their frequency and wants to work with Rishi on their frequency or their millionaire mindset, you can see the details down in the description. You can contact Rishi and talk to him directly. Wow, I can't believe we're actually doing this. This is really, really nice. And do you want to maybe, like, you could ask people if they comment down the video, maybe they could get access to your WhatsApp group. Maybe you could add them to your meditations because I know sometimes you do these full moon meditations or new moon meditations. Would you like
Yes.
to add?
It depends
Okay.
on the person's interest also.
Okay.
But of course, I am open to
Okay.
add them.
Okay.
But it's like a vice versa. Many people are saying yes and many are no.
Yeah.
I am okay to that.
Okay, amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
So first 5 people that comment down this video, anything, whatever you want to comment, and Rishi himself will add you to the WhatsApp group. This is so beautiful, Rishi. I am beyond grateful, honestly, to have you as a guest and you speaking such powerful words, because not everybody has access to you. You know, the way I've met you, it was through a friend of a friend. You don't need advertising or anything like that, right? So I'm super, super grateful for you to be a part of this podcast and talk about such beautiful things that I wish more people have the awareness of, you know. And how many people you would know that are actually enlightened, the enlightened souls. You don't just meet them any day, right? And another thing that I wanted to add is that when people imagine or think of a person who has gone through soul awakening or enlightenment, they imagine some old man sitting in the mountains who has completely detached from everything, from all the material things. And but this is not true, right? This doesn't have to be that way. And this is what I wanted to ask you about your journey. How did you, was there a moment or a certain breakthrough that led you to this awakening?
Yeah, absolutely. See, we families play very big roles. So when you're born in world and the family is very much busy in this materialistic world, that is your reality. And the conversation take place, the incident, the information, the people talk around you, that's your world. Okay. But in my childhood also, I was, whenever I used to see, like in India we called sannyasi. So like every kids has a dream, somebody want to be somebody, engineer, doctor. Whenever I used to see them, I feel, oh, that's my destiny. Because but they always use less things in their life. Less is more for them.
Okay.
Somehow in my mind also unconsciously I absorb that idea,
Mm-hmm.
less is more. So I always keep myself less world. I
Okay.
used to be like this. There should be a 2 3 clothes like this in my house. Life was like this. But as I was going and I was reading and when I was growing, this idea was very embedded inside me, that moksha. I don't know what is moksha, but I used to hear that those who are in the state of enlightened, they are always happy. They never go through the sadness. But that was the not reality in the journey.
Okay.
So because that is idea.
Okay.
Idea is not experience. What you experience, that is your reality. So every day, whatever happening in the life, that was my reality. And I was experiencing sadness, sorrow, whatever, conflict, basically the conflict inside me. And that was creating a turmoil. Slowly and slowly it become bigger and bigger. And after my professional qualification, like engineering, it was in the peak.
How old were you around that time?
I was 23,
Okay,
23,
23,
twenty-three,
very
just
young.
passed my engineering.
Very young. Okay.
But everything was all right outside.
Okay.
College was good. In engineering completed. Friends are running away to America. Everything was good, great around me. I
Mm.
was not in that state. And neither I was struggling for job. My mind was always going through a biggest conflict state. And then the question arises, what is truth?
Okay.
I got trapped to this question.
Mm.
And then my journey became more intense. And then I first encounter a book. In my family, it was not very religious, but very semi-religious, you can say, very lighter religious
Okay.
environment.
And you come from Chennai,
No,
right?
no, I'm
South.
coming from Middle India, Jamshedpur.
Okay.
So the book, the conversation between Krishna and Arjuna,
Mm.
and where the Arjuna's state was my state, run away. And when I was reading Krishna, he said, I will not allow you. You have to
Okay.
be here in the middle of the battlefield. And this battlefield can create your enlightenment too.
Wow.
And that was actually my center of
So
thought.
you embodied your experience
Yeah.
instead
So
of
I have
running away.
realized
You
I
just
do not,
jumped into it.
yeah, I don't have to run away from
Yeah.
my situations.
Okay.
I don't need to go to the mountain or valley to discover the truth. I have to be here because He started from there. You have to be here right
It's
now.
so amazing because I think most people, when they want to step into their spiritual journey, they feel that they have to leave everything and everyone behind and go in the mountains and hide from the rest of the world as if it's the only way to connect to yourself.
Absolutely. Because that is the ideally we have seen. But the conversation between these two guys was like a powerful situation. What every individual experience in their life, that is crisis.
Yeah.
Crisis. We call it crisis. Conflict. What is right? What is wrong?
The
What is right?
duality of
Yeah.
everything.
So what is right for me? And that exactly every being go through. Whatever their country or culture doesn't matter. But life will bring you a point where you will be in the crisis. And I was in that same moment. And that moment was so sensitive. And that is the moment it was message came inside. You cannot go and run away from your situation. That's why I'm in the middle of the market.
Okay.
And my journey started in that sense, real journey started. Ideally, I gone through many books, but those are ideal condition. Go to jungle, meditate, keep yourself away.
Okay.
But this was saying no in the war. And it was really inside going a war.
Mm.
And that's why my whole work is centered around be in the market and experience the enlightenment. I can say that is the seed. That
Okay.
conversation is the first impression on my sensitive state of my being when I was going through the spiritual, I can say, spiritual uh, suffering.
Okay.
I cannot say other suffering,
Okay,
spiritual suffering.
so this was your journey, your spiritual
Starting
journey
point, this
started around
trigger
the age
point.
of 23, yes. But what was your breakthrough moment after this?
So then the journey started. Many metaphysical category experiences I started to experience, but at I was not satisfied.
Okay.
My quest was going deeper and deeper, and only one thing: what is the truth, which is exists not due to me, not due to books, not due to culture, not due to traditions, not due to any circumstances. That truth I am seeking, so that the existence of truth should be based on the truth only, not due to.
Okay.
Like my guru is saying, so my truth is this, or this is my experience, so this is my truth. No, I want the truth which is not even exist due to my experience. I may have an invalid experience,
So everybody has their own truth that
own
they have to
experience.
seek.
People say they have everybody own truth. No, I was not looking for that truth.
Okay.
The truth which is exists by its own self. Even the whole planet will disappear. The
Okay.
truth will be remain exist.
Okay.
Even the whole this earth will disappear.
Okay.
All the being will disappear. At the remain, the truth will there. So that truth I was seeking. That was my, you can say my reference line.
Okay.
If I don't
But
experience,
how did you find the truth? How did you experience
yeah.
it for
So
the
that's
first
my
time?
journey started, and then many believe I started to encounter, and I was started to read the other side of my beliefs.
Okay.
If you say the life is sadness, then why I'm saying life is sadness?
Why?
So I'm feeling sadness, or life is sadness? No.
No.
It means the other side is possible also. Life is full of celebration. Since I'm not experiencing, so I'm saying life is not celebration.
It's,
Because there are people who are saying life is amazing.
yeah, it's that effect of the observer,
Yeah.
right?
So my life is experience, life is sadness, is neither a truth. If my life is sadness is my truth, then it should be truth for others also. But he's saying life is a celebration. So the two truth can't exist together. So neither my experience is my truth, neither their experience is the truth. Truth must be something beyond. And that's the way I started to undo my belief systems, undo my, release my emotion around those beliefs. But then it was a big journey, because the day I started to trigger this, many other dimensions started to unfold it, which I was not aware. Many things, sad, all kind of emotions started to come up.
Wow.
And that goes almost 15 years,
Wow.
because each emotion has its own stories.
Okay.
And many times we are trapped by the story. So mind started to consume those story more than finding the truth. Then the masters, I was seeking the masters, and it was very difficult for me to accept anybody as a master, because whatever they are saying, it was not convincing me from inside. First is the conversation between Krishna and Arjuna, but that's not sufficient for me, because they are talking about the war and situations and everything. But our life maybe 5,000 years later, we are in different timelines. Then I came across, but by this time, when I was, certain spiritual experiences came inside me, and some kind of conversation started to differentiate between the truth and not truth. So that was some powerful experience that happened to me that time.
But I think it also could it happened because your consciousness, you're so open to these experiences. Many
Yeah,
people are not open. They're just, searching
I
for that
think,
truth that only comforts them.
yeah, I think
And
the two reasons. One, I was in a deep spiritual crisis, and the standard I set,
wow.
these two things put me more turmoil actually.
Mm,
One is the crisis where I was not ready to accept any kind of answer, because I put the truth like this way. I am seeking the truth which does not exist even due to my spiritual experience. Something I will experience in my life is spiritually, but doesn't matter, that is the truth.
okay.
So I put in that way. So I think that scale compelled my journey to go deeper. I felt so.
Okay.
Then my master, I declared inside me when I was reading Osho, I started seeing Osho as a knowing what I'm already knowing. Is he talking that or something else? And then I found there is some matching the frequency, the same way I was thinking, and his words are going deeper and deeper. So his message pulled me further deep. That is the time I realized, since it is pulling me deep inside me, in India we call it Guru. Guru means who pulled you deep inside you. So there is a word like Gurutvakarsan, like
Mm,
gravitations. Gravitations is means pull. So his wisdom, his messages was pulling me inside more and more. And that actually took my journey more deeper. So Osho came, and then I was just engrossed with his messages, his information, but not intellectually, even by experience. It was not just my intellectual sharpness is happening, even
mm.
my being was releasing so many energetic vibrations and frequency.
And already at that time, you could feel the vibrations. Like you're talking
Yes.
about the frequency. So it
My
happened
whole
even
body used to
before
be in
the
sensation.
before the enlightenment. You could
Oh,
actually
amazingly.
okay.
So first experience, that's what I'm saying, my first experience, all the chakra was activated.
Wow.
So those was not my destiny.
How
That was
did
the
it
beginning.
feel? What is that as an experience? And you did it yourself. Did you have a
Experience.
guru who helped you, or you
No,
just
that was some metaphysical incident happened. Like uh, when midnight winter time, I was sleeping, and then the some sound of the knock of the door, tuck tuck tuck. So I awake. What happened? Midnight, cold
okay?
winters, maybe very December month, maybe. And then suddenly I was grabbed by one magnetic field around my whole house,
Wow.
and I can't move. And I was on my back sleeping, and I found the energy was flowing on my spine, and
Oh.
grabbed and go up to the Sahasrara. So it was like a one shot, all like activated.
And you were fully awake at that
I that
moment, or you
moment
were
frozen. I
okay,
awake, I
frozen.
frozen, I can't move. Like
Okay.
somebody has said, "No, you can't move."
Okay.
Frozen, fixed. And then somebody moved like a scanner. You move in the scanner, put the paper, and you just the Xerox machine, how it goes.
Okay.
Same way the energy moved on my spine, my whole spine, in fact, in my whole room, you can say.
Wow.
And then I moved. I said, what happened to me? Then I went to ask my family member, did you feel anything? No, everybody was sleeping deep. I opened the door, nobody was there. So everything was normal. But from that day onwards, one kind of, like in my head, I used to feel air condition is on. Like when you go
You
inside the air
can you
condition, how you
can
feel? The
feel
cool,
the yeah.
the coolness.
Okay.
So there's a deep coolness on my head used to be. Even I was walking the deep sunlight, doesn't matter. The inside is like a cool AC is flowing.
Wow.
So that day I recognized, okay, this is Sahasrara, this is the seventh chakra, is awakened.
Okay, this is how it feels, the coolness on your
Coolness, the body
head.
coolness, you can say, you can
Okay.
feel the neurons are getting activated.
Okay.
So when they say 1,000 petals are activated in Sahasrara, I coordinate with or correlate with the neurons get activated.
Okay.
So maybe in the old ancient time they called it lotus, because in India we represent opening with the lotus. So all my head all around, cells are opening, new ideas are coming, and these all are routing going to your spine like a wave. So when it is a wave, maybe the ancient time they call it snake waves, because snake also waves. But I can't say it's a snake. No, it's a wave. So from the root there is a wave, and then there's a sensation. What experience? It was long for maybe 10 years, 12 years,
Okay.
but the fulfillment was not there.
Okay.
Like I was saying in my initial journey, spiritual crisis or spiritual suffering. But then, as the time passed, I started to feel I'm in a spiritual crisis state. Now, do or die situations. Because I have gone through all intellectual sharpness in the path of enlightenment, all kind of experience already there in my being, whatever people are expecting, like as a kundalini or uh, what I say, like beyond body or transparent
Beyond
part
body
body experience,
experience,
and
yes.
watching the body from the distance. These
Yeah.
all are done by the time.
Okay.
But at my being was in crisis. I
Wow.
cannot.
So basically, even with all your chakras being open and being so, attuned with yourself,
Yeah.
you could still experience the crisis and the sufferings.
Because I was not ready to satisfy this is the truth. I say, okay, this is
Okay.
my experience. Something is getting activated, charge, electrons are flowing, neurons, but it is not my truth. I will die and it will finish.
Okay.
Right. This is my experience, but this is not the truth. So that was become more and more intense. But in my parallel journey, like whatever people leave, like going to the college, companies, outer world was going on. Around 19 September 2009, I said, this is the last day. Either I will die or I will experience. Enough is enough. I'm, I'm reducing the stories. And that day morning, I said, okay, Divine, you take care, my responsibility.
You completely surrendered, I feel. That's
I
what happened. You
say
just
surrender
surrendered to
means,
the.
I'll say, I don't know that time also, I don't able to understand the word surrender. I just say, you take care. Whatever responsibility I have, this is no more. You can say me, I'm running away from the responsibility. Okay. But I am going today for my last. Either I will in search of enlightenment or forever it is. No. But it is very difficult to make decide. But I say, okay, the 5 o'clock I went to the garden where I used to meditate, but it was intense, engrossed that day. It was light raining. Also, I don't know what was the situations. And my process I started, and it was happening like a light speed. I lost somebody I'm doing when I put everything is last day, ready to lose my life, ready to lose whole society, my family, my responsibility, everything. That is the moment. It was so intense and it was going so fast. I cannot know the stages. It was whatever my meditation stages. I was crossing the light speed. It is beyond my capacity. I'm going little bit detail on this, and then suddenly my last stage, a magnetic field came up from the earth. It went to my feet and come up to this level. I was engrossed by that field, and that came up from the earth.
Wow.
From down, and then I literally saw that my ego is merging on that. And that is the moment everything was happening in a light speed. I'm saying in every language way, but it was happening under my awareness, and switching happened, and I was thrown out of the existence
Okay.
where neither I aware about my body, forget whole galaxy disappeared. I was in a different dimension, and the voice conversation started. Watch. I don't know from where it was. I am not in this body. I watched. Then the voice came to me. I think I talk, but not this way. I reached my home,
Okay.
free from all the noises, and then switching back, and I back to this existence. And then I immediately turned and started to walk without any bothering. And I was thinking I'm not walking, I was floating.
Mm.
Of course, technically my feet must be touching the feet, but almost 1 feet on the top, I was floating. And all around me, the rain is happening of bliss, rain of bliss. So that is the day, my milestone day. And suddenly I found I lost my idea of left and right.
Mm.
All duality started to disappear. All duality dissolved.
Wow.
That was the peak moment. And then it was going how to, I was silent, I was enjoying my state. It was a enlightenment happened in a very silent stage. It is not like the way I was expecting. It will be must be like, blast and this. It was deep silence actually. Nobody can know I got
Unreal.
enlightened.
Unreal.
Why I'm saying I'm got enlightened, because from that day onwards the quest for the enlightened disappear for forever. And I see the witness, the vastness and nothingness. These things was the my reference of my conversation nowadays. That experience, I can say that is the only reference of my conversation. How it is get validated when I'm always talking nowadays after that day from that reference. That's my center of clarity. And there is no books, there is no God, and there is no goddess, only the pure awareness, witness, beautiful, very lighter white that I call Sakti. And the expansion of awareness is the consciousness. And that day, after my realization, two words comes. One is duality disappear, and I am always within the consciousness. Whether I am enlightened or not, anybody is enlightened or not, objects are enlightened or not, doesn't matter. All are within the consciousness.
Wow.
So you born, you live, you die within the consciousness. So there is no dimension to go somewhere or come somewhere.
So
You are
Rishi,
you are
am-
always here.
amazing. So
So
I
we
mean, a
are
lot of
here.
people would ask, I think, when they listen to you, since I mean it's you, they would ask, is there death? What happens after the body dies, after the heart stops beating?
That's what I'm saying. Death has a many contexts you
Imagine,
can
yeah.
say. That was the day I can say death of my ego for forever, which helped me to aware that dimension of consciousness. So you can say one death which give you or expose you to the world, which is forever exist, consciousness. Now, if you see with respect to the body, death, what we see day to day life, yeah, body will die. But at the body will die, you will be that will happen within the consciousness. So there will be a death. Is just for me the death is like this. We are made of 5 elements. On these 5 elements, will go back to their dimension. Water will go to water, air will go to air, space will go to the space, earth will go to the earth. And the dimension where this was existing is always existing. So there will you can call it's a death, but it actually going back to the original state. So the way you see that death, that will define what is death. If I am seeing in a lost state, yeah, there is a death. But there is nothing lose. You are not going to lose. You are not losing anybody in this planet. So 1,000 years back, somebody died, suppose. He's all 5 elements back to the five, and consciousness is always remain. So in that sense, there is no death, only disintegration. You can say that death is a deintegration of 5 element within the pure consciousness. So there is no death in that sense.
Do you
But the
believe in,
form changed.
yes, the form changed. Do
Yeah.
you believe in past lives? Like, do you believe that the reincarnation happens?
From my own journey, from my experiences, uh, yes, there is a journey of your momentum. When you say the past life as an individual, do I have a past life? No, the momentum of there is a past life of the momentum which is present right now. This
Mm.
momentum has a past journey,
Okay.
and that momentum is mine momentum. I can't say this. This is the momentum of the existence. So you can say the past life, if you understand the past life in the context of consciousness, you'll find there's a journey of momentum of consciousness only.
Okay.
We are just the container. We are just the
The container.
container. You can say like your credit card lost, a new credit card they have given. So the information, the amount, all exist. Only your card has lost. New card they have given.
Okay.
So that information, the details is traveling from body to body. So that day, from that day realization, I can say I just, when I was, might be a, suppose, tree or birds or cockroach, I don't know. I was still within the consciousness. Only my sensitivity was not present there,
Okay.
and the quest was not there to realize this dimension. But the dimension was present that time also. So there is a journey of momentum, of course. When I do the Akashic reading, I go to the people's recorded. When Akashic reading means whatever we are talking right now, these all are getting recorded in another dimension that is called Akash. Five element, Akasha is the one dimension. Everything is getting recorded, whatever we are talking, in an energetic form. So when I access those records, it's reveal me the journey of the person, or you can the journey of the momentum of that person, how many life they have come in the human form, and what they were before human, maybe coming from plant, bird, tree, animals, uh, being under the sea. So everybody has own journey.
Do you believe in quantum theory that the time does not exist? Because we are talking about all these momentums that are happening. Are they happening simultaneously in the quantum dimension, or there's actually a continuity to it?
Yes, because yeah, as I said you, the consciousness is not dead, it's alive, it's pulsating. So when its consciousness is pulsating, it is creating a field. This is called, in modern language, you can say it quantum field. In ancient language, we call it Shakti. Shakti is a dimension where it is still not in the any form. It's in the form of field, wave.
Yes.
And then each pulsation of the consciousness, once hit on that field, the field has a own next level of expressions. That is called classical. To express that in a classical level, you need a five elements. So five element hold that pattern. That pattern is the reality. So this table, this chair, and our forms, these all are the expression of the quantum field in a classical level.
Amazing.
So quantum field is the state where nothing has took the form. So that's why you can say this is in stillness state. It is in a silence state. It is in an unexpressed state. Then it takes a forms with the power of intention, attention, power, and feeling. These things give the shape to that field to take some form. So whatever we are creating, the idea which we carry, you found that ideas always pop up.
They're just there. You're
It is
just
just
you're
had
like a
a strike here.
transmitter.
So that is
Yes.
coming out from your quantum field.
Mm.
So you can say the idea is the first expression of your quantum field. Then you move your thoughts around the idea and it which took the form.
Okay.
So quantum field is always there.
Okay.
It was not today due to the science it is existing. It is
It was
forever truth.
always there. No, I love that today's science, particularly physics, quantum physics, is sort of catching up with all that ancient knowledge
Yes.
in Vedas that
It
we
is
have.
validating our old awareness in a writer sense, because now we are, quantum is giving you the sense to understand what is Shakti. Olden time we mix the Shakti with with the form, with the colors, but quantum is giving you the sense. Go and re-understand that dimension, what they were saying that time.